Sari thrust her arm out, blocking the Elias from the inspection line. "Stay behind me, Elias. That's an order." The dockside queue shuffled under the harsh glare of security lamps. Crates towered like forgotten monoliths stamped with interstellar seals. Her team fanned out. 2 Vorth enforcers with plasma lances, a scanner drone humming overhead. Smugglers infested these shipyard bays, slipping contraband past lax freighters. Commander Voss had tripled sweeps after the last breach. Humans like Elias, they stayed safe, out of the fray. Fragile bones, slow reflexes. Her mate or not, Elias crouched beside her, toolkit slung over his shoulder, his eyes flicked across the seals. No fear in his posture, just that calm scan, like checking a faulty weld. "Team advance!" Sari barked into her comm. Her boots clanged on the grated deck. The queue halted, 10 suspects, mostly krill traders with hooded eyes and twitching tails. One stood out, a lean figure in patched void suit, crate at his feet marked with a fresh Alliance seal. Elias tapped her elbow. "Sari. Third from the end." "Counterfeit." She glanced. The seal gleamed wrong, too uniform under the lamps. Her Vorth partner grunted agreement, but Elias straightened first. He stepped forward, right into the queue's edge. "Elias!" She grabbed his sleeve. Too late. He slipped past, toolkit clinking, and knelt by the crate. The suspect's posture stiffened. Sari's quills bristled. Humans didn't charge suspect queues. They waited for backup. She signaled her team. "Hold positions. Drone, scan that seal." The suspect shifted. His hand dipped toward his belt. Elias traced the emboss with steady fingers. "Hollow forged. Ink bleed here confirms it." He looked up at the suspect. "Yours?" The queue tensed. Whispers rippled. Krell hisses. A Vorth growl. Sari's baton hummed to life. Elias stood exposed, back to the line, utterly calm, like debating panel thickness on a hull patch. The suspect snarled. His hand whipped out. A shock knife crackled blue, arcing toward Elias's neck. Sari launched. Her claws dug into the deck for traction. She slammed into the smuggler mid-swing, driving him into the crate. Sparks flew as the knife skittered across metal. Pain flared in her shoulder from the impact, but she pinned his arm. Vorth's strength crushed resistance. "Elias, down," she roared. He didn't drop. Instead, his hand shot out. Fingers clamped the smuggler's wrist like a vice. The knife hovered inches from Sari's side, trembling. The smuggler bucked. His free arm flailed, tail lashing her leg. Shock knife whined, discharge building. Sari's cuff unit dangled from her belt. Out of reach, she twisted, quills scraping his suit, but his alien physiology fought back, sinewy, leveraged. Elias leaned in. His grip tightened. No strain showed on his face. Sweat beaded his brow, but his voice stayed even. "Drop it." The smuggler hissed through gritted teeth. "Human filth. You'll break first."
"Steady, unrelenting."
The smuggler's wrist cracked audibly. Knife clattered free, sparking harmlessly on the deck. Sari surged up, cuffs snapping onto the smuggler's wrists. Her team swarmed in, dragging him to the deck. The drone beeped confirmation. Crate loaded with neural suppressants, black market grade. She hauled the prisoner upright, breath heaving. Adrenaline surged through her veins. Her gaze snapped to Elias. He dusted his hands, picked up his toolkit. No flinch. No wince. His knuckles whitened briefly as he flexed them, then relaxed. He met her eyes with a nod. "Seal confirmed. Want me to log the breach pattern?" Sari stared. Humans fatigued fast. Bruised easy. Commander Voss drilled it daily. Keep them leashed. Liabilities all. Yet Elias stood there, pulse steady under his color monitor. Hers spiked at 140, his at 92. He'd gripped through bone resistance like tightening a bolt. The smuggler spat blood. "Lucky grip, soft skin. Keth Array sends regards." Her quill snapped straight. Keth Array, the ghost coordinator, staging dock failures to probe security. This wasn't random. He targeted her patrol. Through Elias? "Secure him," she ordered her team. To Elias. "You ignored protocol. Walked into a draw." He shrugged, scanning the next crate. Saw the seal. Had to verify. Knife was sloppy. Telegraphed the pull. Sloppy? Shock knives paralyzed Vorth in seconds. She rubbed her shoulder, feeling the bruise form. Elias turned away, already probing another seal. No limp, no shake. Her calm crackled. "Vaughn, report." Commander Voss's voice edged steel. "Counterfeit bust, sir. One in custody. Human tech assist confirmed the mark." Pause. "The human?"
Whoa!
Keep him back next time. Debrief in my office.
She clicked off. Elias glanced over, eyebrow raised.
She waved him close. Voss wants us. Stay behind me this time. He fell in step, toolkit swinging easy. But as they marched toward the command lift, doubt gnawed her. That grip. Unyielding. Humans bent. They didn't hold. The lift doors hissed open. Inside, Voss waited, arms crossed. His crest flared, irritation. Vaughn, explain the human in my queue. She straightened. He spotted the counterfeit, sir. Verified it hands-on. Voss's eyes narrowed on Elias. Rook.
You endangered my officer.
Elias met the gaze level. Spotted the flaw. Stepped up. Ceres got the tackle. Voss snorted. Humans step up to weld struts, not smugglers. Restriction. No dock access for you. Vaughn, you're on report for exposure. Ceres' jaw tightened. Shh. Enough. Voss turned to the viewport. Shipyard sprawled below. Freighters docking, shadows lengthening.
He's escalating. Your attachment makes you a vector.
Elias shifted. Ceres bristled. Voss pulled rank, but Elias's calm irked her now. Why no reaction? Pain tolerance like that defied scans. They exited into the corridor. She gripped Elias's arm, gently. You felt that wrist snap. Why no flinch? He smiled faint. Old habit. Push through. Job's not done till it is. Her scales tingled. Alien metrics. Vorth warriors trained for bursts. Recovered slow. Humans, supposed to tap out. Yet here he walked, plotting the next fix. Alarms blared suddenly. Con exploded. Breach. Bay 7. Multiple signatures. Vaz's voice cut in. Vaughn, Rook, quarantine. That's an order.
Bay 7. Keth's next play.
Elias's eyes sharpened. He checked his toolkit. Sari blocked the corridor sprint, but he brushed past, calm as ever. Fragile, not her mate. And Keth just lit the fuse. Elias bolted down the corridor, toolkit clanging against his thigh. Sari lunged after him. Rook. Quarantine order. He didn't break stride. Bay 7 loomed ahead, red emergency lights pulsing, acrid smoke wisping from a service hatch. Shouts echoed from inside. Dock workers scrambled, faces pale under Vorth scales and human skin alike. A shadow darted through the hatch, Keth's saboteur hooded and quick. Elias slammed his palm on the override panel. Sparks flew. The jammed hatch groaned open 6 inches. Go. Elias shoved his shoulder in, prying wider. Sari skidded to a halt beside him. Her claws extended instinctively. Protocol screamed, contain the breach. But Elias wedged inside, vanishing into the underdeck access run. Pipes hissed overhead, coolant dripping like venom. She slapped the corridor seal. Bulkhead irised shut behind her, locking out the main deck. No escape for civilians now. Her comm crackled. Vaughn to control, purging Bay 7 underdeck. Saboteur confirmed.
Negative. Voss barked back.
Rook's in there. Abort. Too late. Sari triggered the protocol. Vents roared. Oxygen scrubbers kicked in, sucking air from the access run. The saboteur would black out in seconds. Worth lungs faltered fast without it. She gripped her stun baton, eyes on the half-open hatch. Elias was human. Fragile metabolism. He dropped first. Silence fell, broken only by the whoosh of purging air.
Then... thud.
Sari peered through the gap. Elias emerged backward, arms hooked under a dock worker's limp form. The worker, a burly Vorth male, hung slack, scales ashen from stun gas or worse. Elias hauled him inch by inch. Smoke clawed at his face. His breaths came ragged, but his grip never slipped. Out, Sari barked. She reached through, claws snagging the worker's harness.
Elias pushed from behind. Together, they yanked the body clear.
The hatch tried to cycle shut. Jams be damned. His free hand gripped the manual lever, muscles corded under his jumpsuit. He forced it closed, palm flat against the searing metal. It slammed home with a hydraulic crunch. Purge alarms wailed. Elias staggered back from the hatch, eyes watering, chest heaving.
Sari grabbed his harness. One yank pulled him into the sealed corridor. Safe zone.
She slammed the inner bulkhead override. Air normalized here, oxygen flooding back. He dropped to his knees. She knelt fast. Scanner out. Vitals. Hold still. Heart rate elevated. Oxygen sats dipping low.
Hypoxia risk. Her tail lashed.
Humans couldn't hold breath like Vorth divers. He'd been in there too long. Breathe deep. She tilted his chin up, checking pupils.
Dilated? Rook, talk to me.
Elias coughed once, wiped his mouth. Worker clear, stunned, alive. She pressed the scanner to his neck. Sats climbing already. You overrode that hatch solo. Dragged him. Shut it by hand. Purge hit you full. He nodded, pushed up to his feet. Unaided, no lean on her shoulder, legs steady. Alarm still blared. Voss's voice cut through comms.
Van report.
Human liability confirmed? Sari stood with him, scanner retracting. Walked toward the main hatch release, calm as welding struts. Her scales prickled. Alien metrics, verse security purged zones and evacuated. Recovered in med bays. Humans? Supposed to crumple, demand aid. Yeti Elias moved like the threat was just another leak. Control, Vaughn. Breach contained. Saboteur starved out. Casualty count, 1 stunned, recovering. Rook? Voss demanded. Operational, she said. Elias hit the release. Corridor opened to chaos, dock workers staring, Voss storming in from the command deck. Stepped over the stunned worker, now stirring with a groan, and headed for the Bay 7 panel. Toolkit out. He traced conduits, fingers steady despite the hypoxia lag. Voss loomed. You. Restricted. Stand down. Flaw in the scrubber relay. Fix now stops the next. Sari positioned between them. Her baton hummed low. Sir? He contained it. I sealed.
He extracted. Boss's frills flared.
Your purge nearly killed him. Attachment blinds you. Ketheray's testing vectors. Your human's the weak link. Elias popped a panel. Sparks danced. Relay fused. Rerouting power. He worked fast, wires splicing under quick hands. Dock workers gathered, murmuring. A human tech nodded approval. Verth ones exchanged glances, scales shifting from doubt to calculation. Sari's jaw set. Voss pulled rank, but Elias's actions stacked proof. Quiet competence. No boasts, just results. Comm buzzed. Underdeck clear. Saboteur secured. Unconscious. Voss glared at Elias. Luck. Humans break under real strain. Elias sealed the panel. Lights stabilized. Done. He straightened. Walked past Voss toward the next access run. Scans showing residual heat signatures. Keth's play wasn't over. Sari matched his stride. Rook. Rest cycle mandated. Job's not done. His voice stayed even. No wheeze. Her claws flexed. Protective instinct surged. She'd shield him from Voss, from Keth. But he overturned it every step. Resilience hidden in that calm frame. Trust built in the breach, not words. Voss barked into comms. Double security on Bay 7. Vaughn, you're sidelined. Rook. Confinement quarters. Elias paused. At the run entrance. Scanner out. Heat bloom. Another device. Sari checked her own. Confirmed. Keth escalated. Staged failures probing her defenses. Through him. She blocked Voss's advance. Sir. He's on it. Stand down, officer. Elias dropped into the run without a word.
Sari followed, sealing behind. Voss's curses faded.
Darkness closed in the narrow tunnel. Pipes throbbed. Elias crawled ahead, toolkit probing.
Bomb vestige.
Remote trigger. Her light swept it. A compact charge, Verth grade, meant to vent the bay. Disarm? He nodded, hands steady. Hold light. She complied. Watched his fingers dance. Precise, unhurried. Purge hypoxia should have slowed him. Didn't. Click. Charge powered down. Clear.
He backed out. Sari gripped his arm. Testing.
Solid. Scans said humans fade at 12% oxygen. Push through. He met her gaze. Faint smile. Old habit. Scales tingled again. Burst warriors burst fierce, then crashed. Humans endured. Quietly. Her mate hid depths that recalibrated everything. They emerged. Voss waited with guards. Escalation noted. Rook, you're off station pending review. Vaughn, report explains your insubordination. Elias handed over the disarmed charge. Keth's signature. Traces to smuggling cell in Bay 12. Voss snatched it. Frills twitched, impressed, despite himself. Sari stepped forward. Sir, he spotted it. I back his play. Voss eyed her, then Elias. Metras don't lie. Humans are liabilities. Alarms cut short. His fix held. Dock workers cheered softly. Elias shouldered his toolkit, walked toward duty station, unrestricted in spirit. Sari fell in beside him, trust solidified, not in grand gestures but this. Competence overturning doubt. Keth targeted her through him. Mistake. Her come pinged private. Kethare's ghost signal? She crushed it. Escalation coming. Elias glanced. Next? Bay 12. She smiled. Fierce. Commander Voss's frills flared as he strode into the corridor, guards flanking him. Rook. Vaughn. Stand. Zeri snapped to attention, hand on her stun baton. Elias paused beside her, toolkit slung over his shoulder. Bay 12 loomed ahead. Keth's smuggling nest. Paris. Zeri's voice stayed level. She positioned herself between Voss and Elias. Voss's eyes locked on Elias. Metrics confirm it. Human physiology cracks under stress. You're reassigned. Diagnostics on the reactor ring. Safe. Remote? No field risks. Elias tilted his head. Bay 12 needs. Non-negotiable. Voss cut him off. Vaughn escorts. Then quarantine review. Zeri's scales itched.
Sideline her mate after he disarmed Keth's charge, but orders bound her.
She nodded. Understood, sir.
Voss turned away. Guards followed.
Elias met her gaze, calm.
Reactor it is. She gripped his arm. Firm. Possessive. Keth waits. This delays us. Power first. He shrugged. Station blacks out. Smugglers scatter. Anyway. They pivoted toward the ring access. Zeri's boots echoed on grated decking. Elias matched her stride, unhurried. Humans moved like that. Steady, no waste. Her Vorth instincts screamed to charge Bay 12, claws out.
He treated it like maintenance. Lift doors hissed open.
They descended into the reactor ring's hum, air thickened with ozone bite. Conduits pulsed blue along walls, feeding the station's heart. Ports here. Zeri scanned the panel. Sparks danced from a jagged hole. Diagnostic port, gone. Sheared clean. Metal lips glowed. Fresh sabotage. Slag. She drew her scanner. Keth's work. Traces matched the charge.
Elias crouched.
Probed the ruin with gloved fingers. No flinch from heat. Bypass viable. Scrap cabling in the bin. He yanked conduits from the wall stash. Twisted lengths together. Quick knots. Insulated wraps. Zeri's grip tightened on her baton. Unsafe. Live power. 10 minutes. He stood, cable bundle in hand. Hold perimeter. Earth protocol. Evacuate. Call engineers. Humans didn't ride voltage. Scans proved it. Delicate nerves fried at 20% over nominal. Elias. She blocked the panel. Voss's orders. Safe diagnostics. Soft pressure on her wrist. Trust the fix. Light stay on. Bay 12 stays lit for us. Scales tingled. That quiet push again. Like the charge. She stepped back. Perimeter held. Zeta fanned her stance. Baton hummed live. She keyed her comm. Vaughn securing reactor ring. Diagnostics in progress. No interference. Footfalls echoed. Dock stragglers drawn by alarms. Clear out. She barked. They scattered. Elias jacked the bypass. Sparks erupted. He gripped the access rung. Body taut. Grid whined. Voltage spiked. Meters redlined.
Zeri's scanner screamed. 45% surge.
Human baselines shredded at half that. His knuckles whitened. Jaw set, no cry. Status? She kept eyes on corridors. Peeking. His voice strained, steady. He twisted a manual valve. Arcs lashed his gloves. Stabilized. Minutes crawled. Her heart thrummed Vorth rhythm. Protect the mate. Rush in? Drag him free? No, he demanded this. Spike 2. Grid bucked. Elias rode it, legs braced, free hand patching a secondary feed. Lights flickered station-wide. Distant shouts rose. Elias. 9 minutes. Grit edged his words. He yanked a frayed line spliced fresh. Surge ebbed. Zeri pivoted at shadows. A maintenance drone whirred close. Keth's probe, she stunned it mid-air.
Wreckage smoked.
A final spike crested. Elias wrenched the master relay. Grid locked green. He sagged against the rung. Pulled, free. Zeri lunged. Wrapped him in her arms. Tested his pulse, racing but strong. Skin hot, not fried. Clear. You Done? He straightened. Faint grin. Power holds. Alarm silenced. Ring lights blazed steady. Her scanner pinged. Full stabilization. Doc cheers filtered through vents. Boots thundered.
Voss burst in with quad guards.
Stunners raised. Vaughn. Rook, you're under arrest. Unauthorized access. Lights hummed flawless. Consoles glowed alive across the ring.
Voss froze. Frills drooped.
His scanner beeped. Green grid, no faults. Elias wiped his hands. Offered the bypass bundle. Sabotage sheared the port. Keth's cut. Voss snatched it. Scanned traces. Jaw tightened. Guards hesitated. Sari stepped forward. Baton lowered but ready. Sir. He fixed it. Alone. Voss's gaze flicked. Elias unbowed. Sari defiant. Metric said failure at surge. Evacuating. Metris wrong. Elias shouldered his kit. Bay 12 next? Voss's frills twitched. Impressed fury. Review board. Now, both of you. Sari gripped Elias's hand. Squeezed. Trust burned deeper. His quiet endurance flipped her world. Verse charged. Humans endured. Together, they walked out. Voss trailed comm barking orders. But the ring stayed lit. Her private comm pinged. Ghost signal. Keth. Clever fix, protector. Bay 12 awaits. Bring the human.
Sari crushed the device, smiled at Elias.
Escalation. Checklist. Guards closed ranks. Voss led to review chamber. Doors sealed. But power flowed. Keth's game shifted. Her mate's resilience the wild card. Inside, Voss paced. Explain.
Human tolerances don't allow. Elias cut in. Push through.
Habit.
Doubt cracked. Her career teetered, backing the underestimated.
Worth it. Keth's cell stirred. Bay 12 primed. But now, she trusted the human beside her. Competence built the bridge. They'd cross it together. Rough hands yanked Elias into the lift's shadows. A needle jabbed his neck. Compliance toxin, Keth's signature brew. He slumped against the wall, eyes glazing. Sari spun from the review chamber doors. Voss barked orders behind her. She ignored him. Elias. Lift doors sealed with a hiss. Muffled grunts echoed. Two Keth crew disguised as loaders dragged him deeper. The third punched override. Descent word. Sari sprinted. Baton extended. Her frills flared, heat vision piercing the freight bay haze. Lift bay loomed ahead. Cargo crates stacked like labyrinth walls. Alarms wailed. Guards peeled from Voss, trailing her. Too slow, she vaulted a pallet, slammed the emergency panel. Lift readout froze. Floor 7, grinding lower. Toxin hit most species in seconds. Humans? Elias played weak before. Not this time. Heat trail bloomed. 3 signatures. Kidnappers' armored suits leaked thermal ghosts through the maze vents. Elias's cooled fast, toxin faint. Sari tore into the freight tunnels. Pipes hissed steam. Crates groaned under drone haulers. Her claws scraped metal for grip. She dropped to all fours, tracking the glowing boot prints snaking left. Protector, a guard calmed. Voss orders stand down. Review first. Humans my mate. She cut the link. Career be damned. Trust sealed it. His fixes. His calm. Now prove it. Trail forked.
She sniffed. Ozone from breather masks.
Ducked under a swinging sling load. Heat signatures clustered at sublevel access. Lift shaft paralleled. Inside the car, Elias twitched. Toxin clawed his veins. Muscles locked. Vision blurred. Keth's crew loomed. Burly Rennick with stun prod. Sly-eyed Lyra rigging descent hack. Compliance in 10, Rena growled, holstering injector. Boss wants him breathing.
Elias bit his tongue. Pain cut haze.
Humans pushed thresholds. Habit from yard shifts, rad leaks, 0J breaks. Shake it. Eyes flicked. Rena's dropped spanner. Inches away. He convulsed harder. Cover. Rena knelt. Easy. Soft skin.
Fingers inched. Grabbed.
Jam time. Sari scaled the shaft ladder. Magnetic boots clamped rungs. Heat trail pulsed below. Lift car halted at freight nexus. Kidnappers pried doors. She smashed the roof hatch. Sparks flew. Dropped inside. Chaos erupted. Rennick spun. Prod crackling. Lyra fired flechette. Sari dodged, baton cracking Lyra's wrist. Gun skittered. Rook, Sari lunged past Rena's grab. Elias wedged the spanner into control panel. Gears shrieked, lift locked mid-descent. Toxin burns off. Jammed their drop. Rennick roared. Charged Sari. She sidestepped, baton to knee.
He crumpled. Lyra scrambled for hatch, calling reinforcements.
Sari hauled Elias up. His hand gripped hers. Steady now.
Toxin haze faded from his eyes. Exits that way.
He pointed through roof breach to service duct glowing faint on her heat scan.
Kidnappers below. Pounded doors.
Lift groaned. Pursue? Sari's frills quivered.
Protocol screamed evac. Voss inbound.
But Elias stood tall, kit slung, no slump. Now, he shouldered past.
Checklist. Cut the head. She nodded.
Trust locked. Humans didn't break. They bent, then snapped back. Her metrics shattered again. They dropped into the duct. Tight squeeze. Elias led. Scanner beeping faint signals. Sari covered rear, baton humming. Duct spat them into subdeck shadows. Cargo drones hummed oblivious. Heat signatures fled ahead. 3+ shadows merging. Keth's cell, Elias whispered. Bay 12 override from here. Sari's comm buzzed. Voss. Von. Stand down. Human liability confirmed. She silenced it. Elias's resilience flipped the board. Together, they ghosted forward. Rena's voice echoed from grade ahead. Boss? Talks failed. Human jammed us. Protectors with him. Pause. Keth's rasp. Bring them. Both. Ambush reversed.
Sari squeezed Elias's shoulder.
Competence bridged worlds. They crept closer. Bay 12 loomed, dark primed. Keth's trap snapped shut. Elias palmed a breaching charge from his kit. My turn. Sari's heat vision locked targets. 4 signatures. Armed.
Her claws flexed. His tool hummed.
Go, she breathed. He slapped charge. Boom. Grate vaporized. They burst in. Keth whirled from console. Scaled face twisted. Protector. Mate. Predictable. Elias rolled left, spanner flying. Cracked a thug's helmet.
Sari charged right. The Tawn whirlwind. 2 down.
Keth fired neural whip. Sari tanked it. Frills sparked, but Vorth hide shrugged volts.
She closed, claws raking his arm. Elias flanked. Consoles rid. Surge bomb. Keth laughed. Human sees. Too late. Elias dove under desk. Wires sparked. His hands blurred. Bypass. Reroute. Surge died. Keth lunged. Sari intercepted, slamming him to deck. Cuffs snapped. Silence fell. Thugs groaned. Bay 12 powered down safe. Voss stormed in. Guards flooding. Jaw dropped at cuffed cell.
Elias fix surge, Sari reported.
Baton retracted. Alone. Again. Voss scanned. Frills flatline shock. Toxin traces on him. Compliance grade. Pushed through. Sari gripped his arm. Heat trail faded. His alone now. Steady burn. Assumptions crumbled. Trust forged in fire. Keth sneered from cuffs. Game's not over, Protector.
Chell's bigger. Voss hauled him.
Review board. Real one. Doors sealed. Elias met Sari's gaze. Bay 13. She smiled. Checklist. At her comm, ghost pinged again. Keth's network stirred. Bigger threat loomed. His quiet strength? Her shield now matched it. Together unbreakable. Sari lunged after Elias into the narrow maintenance spindle. Dim service lights flickered overhead. His boots scraped the grated floor ahead. Her baton hummed in her grip. Then gravity crushed her. She hit the deck hard. Frill slammed flat against her skull. Vorth hide creaked under 5 crush. Illegal spike. Keth's trap. Bones ground. Lungs seized. She clawed forward. Elias twisted back, eyes wide. Anchor! He barked. She flung her tether line. It snagged his harness. He yanked her inch by inch, but the spike pulsed higher. Her claws gouged metal. Vision blurred. Elias dropped low, belly crawling under the load, his shoulders bunched. Human frame so fragile by Vorth metrics, yet he dragged them both. Brace ahead, he grunted.
Sweat beaded his brow. No panic.
Checklist voice. Sari gasped. Airwayed lead.
She locked claws on the tether.
Elias reached the structural brace, a massive I-beam pulsing with strain lights. His fingers pried a clamp free. Line whipped around the beam. He cinched it tight, one arm pinned under his own chest. Click. Secure.
The tether bit into her harness. Sari hauled breath.
6.5 G. Black spots danced. Worth warriors trained for force sustained. This killed. But Elias crawled on. His knees scraped sparks. Muscles corded under shipsuit, pushing limits she never guessed humans had. Nodes 20 meters, he called. Voice strained but steady. Stay clipped. She nodded. Frills twitched agony. Tether held her conscious, barely. Elias inched forward. Crush pinned his ribs. Each breath rattled, yet he moved. Human lungs, bellows forged. No Verth tech buffered him. Keth's laugh echoed in her mind. Predictable. The spindle linked Bay 12 to his deeper cell. Ghost pings traced here. Voss's lockdown sealed bulkheads, cornered them inside. Elias spotted the node first, glowing relay box, fused to the wall conduit. Gravity hit 7. Sari's vision tunneled. She tasted blood-cracked frill capillary. Elias reached the node. Fingers clawed the access panel. It wouldn't budge. Crush welded it. He wedged his spanner. Livered. Metal screamed. Panel tore free. Wire spat arcs. Elias ripped the core node palm-sized crystal pulsing overload. No gloves. Skin sizzled. Got it? He slammed the node into the nearest shorting point. A raw power bus, sparking blue. Crystal shattered. Surge howled. Lights died. Gravity normalized. 0 G drift.
Relief flooded Sari. She unclipped, floated to him.
Elias sagged against the bulkhead. Burns striped his palm. Ribs heaved. Bruises bloomed under torn shipsuit. You dragged us, she said. Claws steadied his shoulders. Gentle. Verth strength now his shields. Teamwork created. Wiped bloodied hand on thigh. Nodes fried. Traps dead. She scanned him. Toxin traces from Bay 12 lingered compliance chems Voss mandated for humans. Slowed reflexes.
Yet Elias pushed through. Again.
Her mate. Underestimated by station logs, by Voss's metrics. Humans. Soft tissue. No natural armor. Liabilities. Not him. Alarms wailed distant. Voss's teams inbound. Protector Vaughn. Spindle Alpha 7 clear. Trap neutralized. 1 casualty. Minimal. Elias gripped her arm. Report the spike. Keth's work. She hesitated. Voss's voice crackled through. Vaughn. Status.
Human secure? Her frills flared decision.
Voss would yank his clearance, escalate restrictions, quarantine humans station-wide. Corner them further. Keth's cell thrived on that chaos. No. Protect her mate. Spike from command oversight, she said. Voice steel. Bulkhead seals jammed. Allowed access. Recommend Voss review lockdown protocols. Silence. Elias's eyes sharpened. He read her. Nodded once. Voss barked. Oversight? Explain. Node tampered pre-incident. Logs will show. Lie clean. She patched spindle cams. Erased Elias's crawl. Framed as her op. Teams breached the spindle end. Medics swarmed. Elias waved them off. Clear. Sari steadied him on the walk out. His step solid. Her arm around his waist. Possessive. He built their alien-human sync. Trust sealed in crush weight. Voss waited at the hatch. Scaled brow furrowed.
You blamed me?
Fact, Sari said. Baton retracted.
Your seals failed. Keth exploited.
He scanned Elias.
Bruises. No Verth would walk that off. Elias met his gaze. Fixed it. Moving on. Voss's frills twitched doubt, then concession. Board reconvenes. She gripped Elias tighter. Career risked. Voss's distrust simmered, but Keth's bigger cell? They faced it now. Together. Deeper bays hummed threat. Ghost ping ghosted her calm again. Elias squeezed her claw. Bay 13 checklist? Her frills warmed. Smile hidden. But Voss turned away too slow. His private channel flickered. Keth's marker? Paranoia? No time. They pushed forward. Human resilience her anchor now. Sari pulled Elias into the next access tube. Shadows cloaked deeper spindle links. Keth's network pulsed, staged failures testing her. Last trap nearly crushed her Vorth frame. Elias's crawl saved them. Quiet competence. Assumptions shattered. Scan ahead, she whispered.
Baton ready.
He nodded. Multi-tool word. Jury-rigged detector from Bay 12 scraps. Human improv. Clear 10 meters. Pressure variance at 15. She clipped tether fresh. Trust body remembered. His pull under 7. Her claws now guarded his blind spots. Tube narrowed. They crawled tandem. Elias first. His slimmer build led. Sari covered rear, senses peaked. Verse hearing caught great shifts. Alien edge. Fan ahead, he said. Rigged? She peered. Blades spun erratic. Keth's mark. Smuggler sabotage.
Pull back. No.
Elias unspooled wire. Bypass. His hands danced. Circuits looped. Fan slowed. Stopped.
Sari exhaled. How?
Faulty vents daily. They pressed. Bay 13 loomed. Cargo stacks towered. Keth's hidden cache. Voss's restrictions sealed it tight. No backup. Door hissed. Armed shadows moved inside. Thugs. 3. Scaled like Keth's crew. Sari charged. Baton cracked first helmet. Elias flanked low spanner. Hooked a leg sweep. Second thug crumpled. Third, fired stunner. Sari tanked it. Hide shrugged. Claws pinned him. Console glowed. Elias dove under. Another surge. Fingers blurred. Bypass. Dead. Silence. Cargo crates cracked open. Contraband crystals. Keth's fuel for bigger plays. Her comm buzzed. Vaz. Bay 13. Breach. Secured, she reported. Oversight again. Your patrol's thin. Elias rose. Burns throbbed, but stance firm. He met her eyes. Heat flared. Mate bond. Voss growled. Pushing it, protector. Results. Shh. Cut comm. Keth's network stirred wider. Station core at risk. Voss cornered them. Distrust-fueled traps. But Elias? Her human fixed what brute force couldn't. She leaned in. Claws traced his jaw. You push harder than Vorth logs say. Checklist. Kiss brief. Trust forged. Unbreakable. But crate deaths hit a holomap. Keth's endgame. Core spindle sabotage. Station-wide gravity collapse. Elias spotted it. That's ours. Secure Elias for protective custody. Now. Commander Voss's voice crackled over Siri's comm, sharp as a plasma cutter. She stood in Bay 13's dim glow, claws still gripping the last thug's collar. Elias crouched by the cracked crate, fingers hovering over the holomap pulsing with sabotage schematics. Core spindle targets blinked red. Gravity fail imminent. Sari dropped the thug. He slumped, unconscious.
Negative, Commander. Base secured.
Elias glanced up.
His burns gleamed under the console lights, but his eyes stayed steady. Sari, quiet.
She thumbed the comm. Repeat order.
Voss's growl filled the bay. Incidents pile, vent surge, thug ambush, contraband breach. Your human's a liability magnet. Escort him to brig. Station lockdown protocol. Her hide bristled. Mate bond thrummed. Formal claim filed cycles ago etched in Vorth law. Elias fixed what her claws couldn't. She wouldn't hand him over. Denied. She strode toward the door. He's under my protection. Silence stretched. Then, security hall. 5 minutes, or I send guards. We go? She nodded once. Claws flexed. Trust him to follow. They moved. Security hall loomed at corridor's end. Sterile white, flanked by armored lockers. Voss waited, scales polished, flanked by 2 enforcers. His eyes locked on Elias. Vaughn. Surrender the human. Baton hummed at her hip. Baton hummed at her hip. No. Elias Rook invokes mate bond rights.
Article 47. Bonded non-Vorth personnel exempt from custody without dual consent. Voss frills flared. Bond?
With that soft skin, oversight ignored your reports. Vents, thugs, now core thread intel. He's the common thread. Elias stepped forward, calm as docking clamps. Waiver covers it. Voss sneered.
Earth waivers mean nothing here. Station standard.
Elias pulled a data slate from his kit. Prepped, she realized. His fingers tapped. Liability release. Full disclosure. I sign. Your leverage drops.
Sari's chest tightened. He'd anticipated this.
Quiet prep, not boasts. Irrelevant. Guards. Seize him. The enforcers lunged. First one, burly with shock maul raised, charged Elias. Sari tensed to intercept. Elias sidestepped. Smooth. His hand snapped out. Not a wild swing, but precise. Fingers locked. The guard's wrist joint. Twisted. Controlled. The maul clattered. Guard dropped to one knee. Gasping. Elias held. Firm pressure. No snap. Released. Second guard hesitated.
Sari growled. Batten out. Stand down.
Was barked. Apprehend.
Elias faced the commander, hands open. Signed. Slate beeped, confirmation, projected and holo. No liability, no custody. The guards froze. First one rubbed his wrist, eyes wide on the human. No rage, just control. Voss's frills collapsed. Insolence. Vaughn, you're suspended. Human confined to quarters under watch. Sari sheathed her baton. Mate quarters, bond rights hold. She gripped Elias's arm. Gentle, possessive. Heat flared where scales met skin. They walked out. Voss's glare burned their backs. Quarters sealed with a hiss. Elias slumped onto the bunk. Burns cracking open. Sari fetched the medkit. Foolish. Signing under duress? Standard play. He peeled his shirt. Red welts spidered his ribs. Earth yards wavers daily. Boss's push. You document. She applied gel. Claws careful. His skin yielded under touch, but muscle beneath stayed unyielding. Keth's map, core sabotage. We fix it alone now.
Checklist.
Isolate spindle relays first. Trust coiled tighter.
Her human didn't break. He bent threats around him.
Alarms blared station-wide next shift. Hull breach, Sector 7. Evacuate. Sari bolted upright. Elias already dressed, kit slung. Keth's diversion. They hit the corridors. Crowds surged. Worth civilians lumbered, tails lashing panic. Sari shoved through, Elias at her flank. Comm crackled. Vaughn. Stand down. Containment teams handle it. Core map traces there. She cut through a side hatch. Pipes groaned overhead. Hull breach klaxons wailed louder. Air hissed from microfractures. Elias scanned a panel.
False alarm. Pressure vents rigged.
His banner danced. Wires rerouted. Wine faded. Sari pinned a shadow. Keth scout, blade out. She disarmed him, claws raking. Talk.
Scout spat. Boss tests you.
Human bait. More ahead, they pressed to Sector 7 core. Guards patrolled. Voss's, not hers. One blocked. Quarters soft skin, Sari growled. Clearance. Elias moved first. Hey. Casual wave. Guard turned. Hand locked elbow. Pivot. Guard spun. Maul dropped.
Down controlled. Elias stepped over.
Path clear. Sari stared. Again. No fury. Precision. Deeper in. Spindle chamber hummed. Holomap matched. Sabotage nodes glowed. Keth's crew. 4. Wiring explosives. Sari charged. Batten cracked first helmet. Sparks flew. Elias flanked. Low sweep spanner hooked ankle. Thug crashed into crates. Second fired stunner.
Elias rolled. Came up inside guard.
Joint lock, arm pinned. Stunner clattered. Third lunged at Sari. She tanked the claw rake, hide shrugging.
Counterpinned.
Last thug triggered a node. Spindle whirred erratic. Gravity flickered. Elias dove under console. Bypass. Fingers blurred. Circuits looped. Surge died. Silence. Crew slumped. Bound. Sari dragged the leader close. Keth's next? He grinned. Voss knows. Your human's the key. Break him. Station falls. Her claws tightened. Elias wiped sweat. Burns ignored. Nodes clear? She nodded. Mate bond pulsed fiercer. He'd turned Voss's guards. Keth's traps. Without a shout. Corridor pounded. Voss stormed in. Squad behind. Vaughn. Cease. Threat. She tossed the bound leader. Core safe. Again. Voss eyed the disarmed thugs. Then Elias. Wrist rub guard from Hall stood at his side, same wide eyes. How? Checklist. Elias met his gaze. Calm. Voss's frills twitched. Reports, exaggerated human frailty. Sari stepped beside Elias, claw on his shoulder. Recalibrate, Commander. He grunted. Interrogation first. Then, review. Quarters again. Sari sealed the door, pushed Elias against bulkhead. Claws traced burns, gentle now. You dismantle them. Quietly. Lips met hers. Electric. Teamwork. His hands gripped her waist. Firm. Unyielding. Trust sealed. But Voss's review loomed. Keth's cell deeper. And Elias's hidden edge? Still unfolding. Keth's voice patched through smuggler net. Mate bond breaks easy, Vaughn. Watch your fixer bleed. Explosives ticked in the vents. Real this time. Elias's eyes sharpened.
Ours. Explosives ripped through the vents.
Sparks showered the quarters. Sari shoved Elias behind the bulkhead as the lights died. Station-wide blackout plunged everything into red emergency glow. Borders. Her comm crackled with panicked reports. Keth's push, straight for the reactor ring. Sari yanked her pulse rifle from the wall mount. Claws locked on Elias's arm. Maintenance shafts. Restore power. He nodded, calm as ever. Grabbed his toolkit. Half-grid first. Coupler's manual. No panic. Just facts. She sealed him in the access hatch. Mate bond thrummed, fierce, steady. His pulse even. Hers raced. Corridor alarms wailed. Sari sprinted to the rally point. Her squad assembled. 4 Vorthax enforcers, frills flared, weapons hot. Gravity flickered under boot clamps. Reactor ring, Sari barked. Bulkheads down. Private Lirak gripped his rifle. Humans caused this. Voss's orders grounded them all. Focus.
Sari led the charge. Boots pounded deck plates.
Shadowy figures breached ahead. Keth's smugglers, armored in black weave. Plasma cutters slicing airlocks. First contact.
Sari dropped low. Fired.
Squad flanked. Lirak shot winged another.
But numbers pressed. 10 smugglers. Coordinated. They funneled toward the reactor core. Sari's HUD flickered. Partial blackout fried, targeting.
Fall back to choke point!
They retreated to Junction Alpha. Bulkheads refused to seal. No power. Keth's voice boomed over hacked comms. Vaughn, your fixers meet. We own the ring. Her claws itched. Elias in the shafts. Alone. She pictured him cranking couplers by hand. Human, ordinary. Voss called it suicide. Plasma scorched her shoulder guard. Sari rolled, returned fire. Downed 2. Squad held, but smugglers advanced. Lirak bled from a gash. Power, status, Sari snapped into comm. Elias's voice, strained but steady. 1 coupler engaged. Shrapnel hit. Keep him off 30 seconds. Her bond spiked pain, his, ignored as always. Hold! She roared to squad. Rifles barked. Smugglers piled cover, then lights snapped on in Sector 7. Half-grid surged. Bulkheads groaned alive. Sari slammed the override. Inner doors crushed shut on 3 smugglers' legs. Screams cut short. Push. Outer bulkheads sealed behind. Trapped. Keth's crew hammered futilely. Sari advanced, rifle trained. Squad mopped remnants. Reactor door ahead. Keth himself, tall scaled predator, pried at the final lock. His cutter whined.
Sari charged. Tackled him mid-spark.
Claws pinned his throat. Endgame. He laughed, bloodied. Your human bleeds in the dark. Mate bond snaps. She headbutted him silent. Cuffed wrists clicked. Squad dragged him up. Power stabilized. Full lights bloomed. Elias emerged from a hatch, toolkit slung, coverall torn. Blood seeped from thigh gash. Arm burns raw. He wiped it casual, like sweat. Grid's yours, he said. No boast. Lirak stared.
You hand-cranked the primaries?
Under fire? Emergency protocol. Elias shrugged. Keeps the station breathing. Sari gripped his good shoulder. Bond hummed approval. His resilience. Quiet, escalating. She'd shielded him. He'd saved them all. Voss stormed in with reserves. Frills rigid. Report Vaughn. Threat contained.
Sari tossed Keth forward. Borders trapped.
Reactor secure. Voss scanned the crushed bulkheads. Bound crew. Eyes locked on Elias. Manual restore. In blackout, Elias met his gaze. Coupler stuck. Cranked him free. Private Lirak piped up. Shrapnel shredded the access. He ignored it. Voss's frills flattened. Respect dawning. Human work ethic? Sari stepped forward. Public now? Comms open station-wide. Normal human work ethic, Commander. Elias Rook bypassed failsafes no Vorthax could muscle solo. Station chatter erupted over open channels. The soft skin cranked the grid. Keth stun. Voss grunted. Nodded to Elias. Debrief. Then, clearance review. Upgraded. Keth smeared from cuffs. 1 bleed, Vaughn. Next cuts deeper. Sari ignored him. Pulled Elias aside as squad hauled prisoners. Her claw traced his burns. Gentle. You push too far. He cupped her face. Team. You hold the line. I fix the dark. Lips met, heat built fierce. Trust solidified. Her shield, his unyielding core, but Voss's calm buzzed private. Vaughn. Interrogation yields coordinates. Keth's ship inbound. Armed. Frontline now? Her grip tightened on Elias. Station eyes shifted. Humans no longer frail.
Keth's predator patience aimed at their bond.
Elias's eyes sharpened. Ready. Explosives ticked deeper in the hull. Backup plan live. Ceri's squad turned to her. Waiting orders. From the human's mate.